All right, so today we are going to be looking at YouTube channels. So as a content creator, one of the things that people often run into when they are getting started is that they come up with their idea for their YouTube channel. They start publishing videos. Maybe they watch some videos on how to do YouTube or how to make videos, things like that. And they start going through the process of making videos for YouTube and they start doing the thing, but they don't really have any feedback. So maybe they're doing something that is incorrect, or maybe what it is that they're doing isn't clear, or maybe they're just completely doing something wrong and they don't have anybody to bring it to their attention in terms of what it is that they can do to improve, or maybe those things that they are doing wrong that are limiting them from growing. And you might be in this situation yourself. It's kind of like almost like a rite of passage when you start YouTube to go through that type of thing, to where you just start publishing videos. And yes, you have the feedback that you might get in your YouTube analytics, but you don't have like an experienced person that you can tap into to say, hey, is this something that I should, work on? And because of that, today here on the TubeSpanner channel, we are going to be looking at YouTube channels, and we are going to be I am going to be giving you feedback on what it is that you're doing. Now, what qualifies me to do this? Well, first off, I've been on YouTube since 2014. It's been a very interesting journey as a part of that time. But during that time, I have worked with a bunch of other content creators in a one-on-one consulting capacity. I've helped tons of content creators for free through my content. I've also helped tons of content creators for free just through random interactions on the internet as well, on Reddit, Twitter DMs, Facebook groups, all of that good stuff. And in addition to that, I've also grown my own personal channel to over 900,000 subscribers. So when it comes to YouTube, I am obsessed with it. It's something that I do on a regular basis. And because of that, I just know a lot of stuff about YouTube from the experiences that I've had. So I'm going to take that experience today and I'm going to give it to you and help you with what it is that you are doing as well for the people that are hanging out here in the stream. And if you are watching this on the replay and you missed this stream, we are going to be doing these on a regular basis. We've actually already started doing them on a regular basis. So make sure that you subscribe to the channel and you do click on your notifications. Normally, these will be on a Thursday or Friday, but this week we are actually starting it out on a Tuesday to start doing these on a regular schedule. But next time, it's likely to be on a Thursday or Friday. But just mark those spots in your calendar to make sure that if you do want that feedback on your channel, that you do, swing by for that. So if this is your first time here, how this whole thing works is this is 100% free, courtesy of TubeSpanner. If you're not familiar with TubeSpanner, what TubeSpanner is it is a tool for content creators that helps you in a bunch of different ways. So for example, it helps you write scripts for your videos. It helps you upload your videos more efficiently and helps you work, a lot faster when it comes to YouTube. It has the option through their browser extension where you can schedule your content to go out onto different social media platforms without having to leave YouTube at all. You can take notes on your videos and on videos like this as well, using TubeSpanner. In addition to that, there's just a ton of different things in there. Social bio tools, where if you publish content across different platforms, then you can use it to interlink all of those together through the social bio tool. But it has all kinds of really helpful tools for you as a content creator. And it's one of those tools that if you are making videos for YouTube, that there's something in there that's going to help you and likely a bunch of things. So it should be a part of your toolkit. So there's free sides of TubeSpanner or free tools within there. And then there's also a lot of things that you can pay for as well, but all of them are fantastic. And I recommend that you just check it out at tubespanner.com and you go in and you figure out, what tools that you need and what tools that you don't, so that you can figure out the best plan for you. So with all of that stuff out of the way, let's go in and start looking at the channels. Now, how this works, if you've never been here before, is I'm going to put a word into this tool that's on my screen. This tool is a tool that StreamYard has. It's their giveaway tool. And when I put this word on the screen, I'm going to end up showing it here on this screen as well. It's going to show up, I think, right over here. And when that happens, all you have to do is take that word that I am showing on screen and type it one time into the chat. When you type it one time into the chat, that's all you need to do. And then it's going to collect it here. And after we get just a handful of them, then I'll just hit the button that says start collecting comments. And then it's going to randomly pick somebody. And look, if you don't get it the first time, just hang out. We're going to do it again. If you don't get it that second time, hang out. We're going to do it again. We're going to do a nice handful of these channel reviews today. So because of that, just be ready to put that word in when it does come up on screen to make sure that you can, get into the queue, so to speak, or that you can, run your hand at being selected. Also, if you win once, you can only win once per stream. So that gives other people a chance to get their channels pulled up and get feedback they need as well. Because again, this is something, for everyone to be able to give everybody, some feedback, or at least as many people as we can get through feedback on what it is that they're doing. So without further ado, the very first word that I'm going to put in here, and if those of you have been on this stream here before, you're probably already going to know what it is that we're putting up. But it's tube spanner. So for this, all you have to do, like I said before, is just type that into the chat right now, and then it's going to start collecting those here, right here on the screen. As you can see right here in this little area here, it shows how many we've collected. We got 2 in here right now, and then it's going to randomly select somebody. So while that's coming in really quick, I just want to give some shout outs. Jerry, Papa Andrew, what's going on, dude? Hope you're doing great. Homekeeping channel, nice to see you in here. Simon Jarvis, nice to see you here in the stream. Millennium Legends, hope you're doing great. Herbs and Spice Kitchen, what's going on? Nice to see you. Doug Hewson, what's up, my dude? Hope you're doing great. Midwest Ghost Hunters, what's going on? Hope that you are doing great. Maya Lovey, hope you're doing awesome. Real Life with Ollie, or Allie, I'm not sure which one it is, but either one, I hope both of you are doing great. And another thing too, like when we're picking these channels, like it doesn't matter to me, what type of channel it is. As long as it is a channel that is, family friendly in some capacity, because, we don't want to show anything obscene or anything like that, here on the stream today. But as long as the channel, kind of fits those guidelines, then you qualify to get it pulled up. So I don't care how many subscribers you have. I don't care how big or small your channel is. I don't care if you have 1 video or 1,000 videos. I'm going to try to help you out the same. So, okay, so we got 30 entries in here. So I'm just gonna hit the draw button and we'll see who gets pulled up here. And it looks like Danielle is in the house also here, responding as Tube Spanner. What's going on, Danielle? Okay, so the very first one, we got John Frank's Songs M's. So give me 1 second here. Let me pull this up onto YouTube, see if I can find it here really quick. Okay, John, I got you. So first off, one thing I want to let you know, John, excuse me, is when it comes to YouTube, music channels by themselves, they can be challenging. So, right out of the gate, just know that you do have you're in transparency, I should say, know that you, definitely have, your work cut out for you there, because, music is, kind of challenging on YouTube. If I had a channel where I was doing instrumentals and I was trying to grab people's attention through music, the first place that I would do it would be where it is that you're doing it right now, which is in YouTube Shorts. And the reason for that is because when people are on YouTube, like let's say, for example, I'm just going to open up another tab here real quick as the homepage. But like if I'm here on YouTube, right, then if I want to see one of these long form videos, not only do you have to grab my attention, right? Like this is a video that I just published, for example, Brian G just published this one, but like, not only do I need, or do you need to grab somebody's attention and let them know that it has to do with like a song or something like that, but the packaging in terms of what it is that they see in the thumbnail and what it is that's in the title itself, all of these things have to be perfectly in alignment with people and compel them to click. So you got to be able to help them identify that it's about something they might care about, which is music in that case, or just a really good tune. And then you got to compel them to click in some way. So the complicated thing when it comes to music channels is oftentimes people are either doing covers or they're doing original music. When you're doing original music, it can be more challenging because then you can't connect to anything to pull people in. So for what I mean by that is, let's say that Doug is like, Brian G, I'll be right back. So what I mean by connect to, something to pull people into you is a very common tactic on YouTube is if you are trying to get attention to what it is that you are doing, it can be helpful to attach what you are doing to things that people are already familiar with. So for example, and I'm not saying this is your vibe, I'm just giving you this as an example. So let's say that a lot of people know about Taylor Swift, and you're like, okay, this is the type of audience that I want to tap into. I want to tap into, her type of fans, but just apply this to whatever music genre that you are the most interested in, or that you play the most, or that you create original music for. But basically you would say, okay, this is the artist. And with that artist, if I do a cover of that particular song, then one of the things that helps me there is that when somebody sees this on their homepage, then if they like that artist, they might come in and click on my content just to see my version of that song that they really love, that they're already familiar with, right? So the idea there is that you are leveraging something that's popular in order to grab somebody's attention through the thumbnail, right, and the title, and then pull them into your content to introduce them to you, so that then they get something that they're familiar with because it's a song that you're playing that they already know. But then they get to see your talents as well, and that's the opportunity to introduce them to you. Now, the next step in that process is, once you're finished with the song, for the people that make it to the end, because those people are going to be the ones that enjoyed your music the most and that are going to be the most engaged. At the end, if you have any original music that you've created, then at the end of that video, say these words. Hey, either as the song's coming to an end, or once it's completely finished, say, hey, if you enjoyed this, I have an original song that if you enjoyed this song, you're really going to love it. I'm going to put a link to it right here, and go ahead and click into that, and I'll play that song for you over there. And then by doing that, what you're doing is, you are, in terms of the flow the viewer is going to have, is if you can get them to respond to the thumbnail and title through leveraging something popular. And this is just one approach. We're going to talk about another one here in a second. But if you are going to get them in on something that is popular for the people that are most engaged, that actually enjoy your talents, then those people are going to make it to the end. And then that gives you an opportunity to essentially market to those people and say, like, hey, if you enjoyed this, I've got this original one that you're also going to like. And then just try to match it in terms of, the vibe or the style of the song. So that's one approach. The next approach is YouTube Shorts. And really quick, let me back up. So the reason that you want to just consider that approach is because, like this, right? Best foot forward, original song, indie, new music, psychedelic, and retro. First off, I dig that kind of music, so I'm actually gonna open this up for later. But basically, I'm just gonna bookmark this right here. That a little bit. Yeah, I play music too. So, all right. So let's see here. So the thing that I was getting to is, when you are making a title, right, and you're like best foot forward. Right now, if we just isolate this, let me get out the other side of this here. So if we just look at this packaging right here, right, which is your face, the words best foot forward, and then the title is best foot forward, original song, indie, new music, psychedelic, and retro. First, don't bother putting hashtags into your titles. You can still do that on YouTube Shorts if you want to. It really doesn't matter over there anymore either. However, I would still do, or not do that when it comes to the titles for your longer form videos. Even if it's 1 minute and 37 seconds like this one, don't put the hashtags in your titles. Those are meant for your video description when it comes to long form content. But one thing that you want to think about here is, for you, the creator, the musician, you know what best foot forward is. You know that it's a song that you made. You know that for the title as well. But what is not clear here is, if I were to see this on a homepage and I had never interacted with your channel before, if I didn't know who you were and I didn't know about this song that you put out, then in that particular case, I would see this and I would say, actually, I wouldn't even stop. I would just glance over it, because it's nothing, there's nothing there that would help me identify that, one, it's music in the first place. With the hashtags that you have in here, it does, it does help with that, but your thumbnail would make me gloss over it. Because when I see best foot forward, I think maybe this is like something motivational or something like that. When I see it focused on you in the thumbnail, and there's nothing really symbolic of music there. Yes, there's a microphone, and yes, there's headphones, but those almost look like you might be a live streamer or something like that as well. So it's not clear, right? So the thing that I recommend that you start trying, and I'm just seeing if you've done this or not already. Yeah. So the thing that I would definitely start doing first is this type of thing here, right? Start doing this on a more regular basis, where you are showing the instruments that you're playing, or it's just a guitar, or, something like this where you have like your amp, set up something. I think this is a better approach because this helps. So do these drum ones, where they just kind of help you identify that this has something to do with music. Like, hey, there's somebody actually playing something here, right? So the whole idea here is that you want to help people that are into music, that listen to music on YouTube. You want to help them be able to identify that your content is music related content without them having to try to figure it out. Because even in this one, you gotta try to figure it out. But like when you come up here, there's nothing that lets you know that it has something to do with music. Even here, even though you're in front of a microphone, this still kind of comes off like, okay, maybe, it could be a live stream or something like that. But the win that you have here is that you do have hashtag original song in the actual thumbnail itself, which does add a little bit more clarity there. So how do you put all this into practice when it comes to this long form? So the very first thing that you want to do is I would stop using the hashtags right away in your titles. Save those for your descriptions. You can add up to 60 of them in your descriptions, but they have to be hashtags, not tags. But you can add up to 60 of these there. So go and start looking for, good hashtags to use, because if you stack it up and let's say you put like 30 in there, then in that particular case, if your video ends up being a good result for any of those 30, then in that particular case, you might be able to pull some traffic from that. But in your case, because you're doing music, every viewer is going to count. But go through all of your thumbnails. If you want to do this, go through all of your thumbnails and start thinking to yourself, okay, how can I make this clear that this is a music video? And all you got to do is ask yourself, make the thumbnail and say, okay, if this were to show up on YouTube's homepage to somebody that has never seen me before, they have no idea that this video is about music. What about this thumbnail? And make sure that you can define what that thing is. Say, what about this thumbnail is going to help somebody that's into music identify that this has something to do with music? Okay. So you can do that with imagery, with, kind of like the stuff that I was showing you before. You can use it with you can do it with words as well. I would try to lean stronger on the imagery and less on the words if you can, because that'll help you make your thumbnails cleaner if you can do it more with imagery. Because like, for example, this one, how you've got like the dark blue or the sort of mid-range blue on like the dark background. It doesn't really like pop for the text, but it's just kind of there. So I think like this would be better if it was like you in front of a guitar or, something like that. That's more symbolic of music and separates you from, live streamers and that sort of thing. The next thing that I want to talk about before we get into the other approach is this right here, where you have revolutionizing your sound, home studio, vocal automation techniques. Looks like you're using Logic Pro here. That's what I used to. It looks like you're using Logic Pro. Keep in mind that when you are publishing videos to your channel, you can do what you're doing here, to where you're like, hey, I'm putting music up here for people that are just want to listen to music. And then I'm also making content for people that want to make it. You can do that. But keep in mind, you can work against yourself in that regard too. So the way that you can work against yourself here is if somebody comes in and they love let's say you repackage all of this and people start responding to it and they really enjoy your Best Foot Forward song. In that particular case, let's say they subscribe to your YouTube channel and they're like, wow, this is great. YouTube's showing them some of your other song videos. They're clicking on those and they're enjoying those. They're like, wow, this guy's amazing. I'm going to like listen to him all the time. Then YouTube shows this video to them, but they don't make music. They're a listener. Then what happens in that case is they don't click on this particular video. And that tells YouTube like, hey, the people that are engaged in this are not responding well to this content. So maybe it's not that great, at least for this audience. And then that can actually hurt the initial performance of that video. And in some cases, long-term performance too. So because of that, I would just try to get clear. Am I making music for right now? Once you have a bigger audience, then there'll be a lot more bleed over in terms of like, hey, I'm making these songs and out of these, maybe I'm going to do a behind the scenes video where I show people how I put my songs together. In that case, it's totally different because you've already built that audience. People are going to come in out of curiosity and because they want to learn how you make the music. So it's going to be like a more impactful thing at that time. But right now, while you're trying to get the initial momentum on your channel, pick a lane, right? Am I making songs for people to sit back and enjoy, or am I teaching people how to make music? And then aggressively do that, right? Okay, so basically the couple things we've worked on here is the packaging to make it clear that it's about music. The second thing is that the audience or the viewers that you are trying to reach, I would just get more clear on that. Am I trying to teach people, or am I trying to entertain people through the music? Okay, so the next thing, and keep in mind, you can bring the teaching thing back later once you get momentum, or you can bring the music back later once you get momentum. But for now, to get momentum, I would definitely, pick one or the other. And then you have your shorts, which is the next thing that I would do on a regular basis too. So when it comes to your shorts, the advantage that you have with YouTube shorts compared to long form videos as a musician is that the conscious decision that we talked about before, where if your video showed up like here, that I have to be like, oh, this grabbed my attention, and this seems like something that I might be interested in. And then I have to make the conscious choice to actually click on this and then go and watch the video, right? That process is the same on any device that you're watching YouTube on. When it comes to short form content, totally different game, because now your videos just pop up, right? Somebody's sitting there swiping, bam, there you are. They don't have to decide if they're going to sample your content or not. So because of that, when it comes to your music, one thing, a couple things I would try, and I'm not watching your shorts, so I'm not sure if you're doing this or not already. But a really important thing when it comes to YouTube shorts is you have to be able to grab people's attention when it first starts. So in your case, I would experiment with that in terms of like, okay, instead of doing like an intro to a song and then having like a good part, the actual, okay, I'm going to do this little like build up thing, because you mentioned that some of the music was kind of psychedelic like. So like instead of having this like build up and then having the build up drop into the actual song itself, maybe let me try just starting with the song itself. So then as soon as they come in, they're already in that good part instead of waiting for it to build up, because most people will swipe away while they're waiting for it to build up, right? Try that. Also try telling stories around your music. So for example, the short pops up and you're like, the other day I was walking down the street and I saw this person, and, like I haven't seen, somebody walk like that in, quite some time. And, as a musician myself, it just kind of inspired me to, write a song about, about that person. This is that song. Check it out. And then start the song that way. Right. So then to start to build like little stories of maybe where you got your inspiration for the song or something like that. I would definitely experiment with that as well. So for you, I'm going to move on to another channel now. But for you, I would start working on those types of things to, one, make it more clear from the outside that your content is music content. And two, work on, if you're not doing it already, trying to, grab people's attention. And another thing as well, when it comes to shorts right now, you're front loading hashtags on your YouTube shorts. This is similar to video content now. Back in the day, you needed to put like hashtag shorts in your shorts in order to get them to show up. But now you don't have to do that anymore. So if you are going to use hashtags, and this is just general best practice for any title that you write on YouTube, you want to always put that sort of thing at the end of the title. And the reason for that is because the thing that's going to be of interest to the viewer, to give them context of what might be going on in the video, that title should be at the front so that that's the first thing that they see. Okay. So start doing that, start putting the title towards the front. And also, if you can, start making the content, compelling. So here you have like, what about Mondays? I don't know if this is a song. I don't know if you're just sitting here talking. I'm not sure what's going on. But if this was a song, then in that particular case, I would do like, what about Mondays, indie music, or what about Mondays, blues song or folk song or whatever type of music it is. I would just kind of mention that in there somewhere for the sake of when it pops up and when you first start the song, when somebody's eyes go down to the title to try to figure out what it is that you're doing and if they should continue watching or not, they'll see that title, and that title might give them more context that will help them want to keep watching the video for a little bit longer. So because of that, I would definitely start rethinking how you're doing your titles as well. So hopefully that helped. As a heads up, if you do have any questions about any of that stuff that I just said, and this is open to everyone that I look at your channels. If you have any questions about any of the things that I recommend to you on your channel, my DMs on Twitter are open for people that I look at your channels. So all you got to do is just shoot me a message and say, hey, I was watching your Tube Spanner stream. You looked at my channel. I just had a quick question about what it is that you're talking about. If you don't have any questions, then that's cool. Get to work, right? But if you do have any questions, then in that case, my DMs are open, so just shoot it my way. All right. So next up on the list here, we've got, let me take this down here really quick and get another word in here. And then we'll pull up another one. And as a heads up, for everybody that's hanging out here, like if I look at a channel and I'm like, and I'm giving some tips, if you make similar content or, if I'm explaining something, just think to yourself, like, hey, is these things that he's saying to this person, could they also apply to me and what it is that I'm doing, right? Because a lot of things when it comes to YouTube, like there's a lot of crossover, especially when it comes to just general best practice stuff. Let's see here. Okay, so the next word that we have today is purple. So Tube Spanner, as you can tell here by, the screen right now and the logo and all that stuff, they're going through like a color rebrand right now. So that color is purple. So I figured, hey, we'll go ahead and drop that purple in here. Give a little bit of that Tube Spanner purple love. Gilman, what's going on? Hope you are doing great. Nikki, hope that you are also doing fantastic. World of KRS, what is going on? KMH family, hope that you are doing fantastic. Hope that you are doing great. Tiffany, what's up? Hope that you are doing awesome too. Geology dude, what's going on, man? Hope you're doing great. Derek Reacts, welcome to the stream today. Spiritual Journey, hope you're doing great. Talk Punch, nice, like that. Okay, so we got like 33 in here. So yeah, we'll get 35, I think, and then we'll pull it. That should give everybody a chance to do it that wants to do it. Okay, we're kind of paused out here at 34, so we're just going to go ahead and hit it then. Boom, here we go. Yeah, so Millennial Legend says, did you go out and get in a water fight? So the reference there is Songkran, which is the water festival that we have here in Thailand. And for the water festival, I did not go out and get in a water fight, but I did drive around in it a little bit. So I have a problem with my lower back to where in some cases, like if I were to like slip, for example, in the water, then I have to catch myself, that can cause like severe pain for me. So because of that, I have to be really careful about that kind of stuff. So back in the day before I had that problem, yeah, I would go out and do the whole thing. It was a blast. But unfortunately, where I'm at in my life right now, that's just not happening, unfortunately. Okay, Gielman. So let's move this over to here and let's make it bigger. Okay, so Gielman, one new video every week. I upload cool. What is that? Is that a video camera? Yep. Every week or 2 weeks, and you can sometimes discover short and then it truncates. So one thing really quick, Gielman, is the video quality and stuff looks good. One thing that I would definitely do here. Okay, first before I tell you this, let me just kind of explain this out a little bit. So let's say that I just watched your video on the cheapest full body tracking on VR chat. Let's say I was one of the people that just watched this video and it's in your archive 9 months ago. So let's say I watched this video today because YouTube recommended it to me. And I was like, wow, this is great. Love this. I love the how the dude communicates. Love the, information. They're fun. Like everything about this creator, this might be my favorite creator on YouTube, right? Then I land on your channel page. I mean, if I thought you're going to be the favorite creator, I'd probably put in more energy to, find what I needed. But when I land on your channel page, I would love to have clarity that lets me know, like, okay, I just watched this VR video. Like, what else do you have for me as a viewer? And I don't see that anywhere. right? So in order to find that, I have to come down and actually start digging into your content, which I see another huge problem that we're going to talk about here in a second. But I would need to come down and I'd have to start, exploring your content and really digging in to try to figure out, what you made. And a lot of people just won't go through that. So because of that, I recommend that either up here or here in your blurb that people can see, that you just really clearly state what it is that you offer on the YouTube channel as it relates to the viewer. And by doing that, you're just adding that quick layer of clarity. So if somebody's like, okay, are they still making videos like this? Is this the only type of videos that they make? Like, what are they doing? If you can add that clarity, it can just more quickly help people identify, like, okay, are they even still doing this type of thing anymore, right? So it can just add that clarity. But I want to get into a bigger problem here that I'm seeing here. So when I'm looking at your channel, actually, let me just go and dig deeper in here and see if I can find anything. Okay, I can't. Yeah, so right now it looks like you are putting up variety content on the channel to an extent. So here, mastering a job hunt, we've got a Christmas adventure, we've got you learning Mandarin Chinese, you've got you learning German, we've got a Sora AI video, history of Amazon Prime video, and a monthly vlog. So one thing that I would encourage you to do, and if you're making good content for your channel, this by itself can be a game changer for what it is that you're doing. Right now, you're making content about a bunch of different things, which means that the channel isn't for anyone. Like ultimately people are like, well, I want my channel to be for everybody. So somebody can come and, watch something on my channel. Like I got a little something for everybody. But right now, as it stands, your channel it's not clear that it serves a particular type of viewer. So like, for example, the 24 hours to learn Italian, can I be fluent in one day? Like this is cool, right? But then this right here isn't really related to this video in any way. This right here about the history of Amazon Prime, that's not really related to this in any way. I mean, it kind of is because it's technology related, but it's definitely not related to this video up here. Same thing with like the vlog content, like this isn't related to anything. The get a first job and then the hilarious Christmas adventure. So if this is like, let's say like a comedy video, and then mastering the job hunt, which is something about, them getting jobs, it seems. So like all of these different types of content that you're putting out, you are, unless you're in that phase where you're like, hey man, I'm just testing stuff right now. And since I'm testing stuff, then in that case, I'm just putting up a bunch of different things. And then when something takes off, I'm going to chase that rabbit. Then in that case, keep moving forward. But if you're like, hey, I actually want to build a resource for, a certain type of viewer, then in that case, I would definitely, you say I now focus on learning languages. Perfect. Okay. So that was going to be my thing, is basically saying that you definitely need to get clear on who it is that you're trying to reach with your content. Because when you are like, kind of like the music channel, if you're in here for that one, like when you are publishing videos, where it's like, okay, here's my vlog. The people that love this might not care about these. And then the people that watch this one are like, wow, this is great. This person seems to be staying up on AI. I'm going to subscribe. And then YouTube starts recommending like language content. Then those people are not going to respond to that. Right. And you just kind of keep repeating that same thing, like all the way throughout this. So I think you're working against yourself in that regard. So if you are leaning into the language thing, once you decide 100%, like, yeah, this is what I'm going to do, is I'm going to do all these language things. I'm going to teach people about languages, or I'm just going to do these challenges on my channel. Then in that particular case, I would just lean into that if people are, responding for it, or if that's the resource that you want to build. But I think that with this, I think that some things still might end up working against you, because yes, people are going to be like, oh, wow, how's this person learning these languages, in 24 hours? Like, that's impressive to me. I live in Asia, so extremely impressive if you're pulling this off, learning to be fluent one day. But I think that another problem that you're going to have is for people that are into multiple languages, for that, subset of people, this might be awesome for them. But when it comes to these individual videos, I think a problem that you're going to run into in the future is, let's say that this right here blows up. Then in that case, one thing that you might run into is that YouTube just starts suggesting your content to just people that want to learn Italian. And then people end up not responding to like all the other languages that you do. So that can be one thing that, that you might need to just kind of keep an eye out for in the future. But if you are, doing these challenges, I think the challenges idea is cool. I'm just not sure in terms of like long term, like, okay, one, how many languages, I guess there's like 3,000 languages or something like that. So, it's a lot of videos. So I guess technically you do have enough content for it. But I think the problem that you're going to run into is like not being, for a particular type of viewer, because it's going to be fragmented into a bunch of different languages, right? So I think as part of this, if you are going to, be doing this, I would also mix in, like, if you're successfully learning these languages quickly, I don't expect fluency, obviously, in a day. It's magic if you are pulling that off. But if you are going to be doing that, one thing that I would consider is these are going to be your proof videos in terms of you knowing how to learn a language. So since you have the proof, the next logical step with the proof would be giving people like general tips on, like, hey, if you're trying to learn a language, these are some things to keep in mind. Here's, X tips for, learning, for speaking fluently in short amounts of time and, that kind of thing. I think that might be a path if that's something that, that aligns with what it is that you're doing. But yeah, so you've already got that part in terms of the audience. But I think what you are doing here in terms of, having the flag in here, I think that's a win. Here, I tried to be fluent in Portuguese in 7 days using only Duolingo. Having all these different flags and stuff, I think that's good because it's symbolic, of the language. I would definitely try to put a little bit more emphasis on the flags, but I think what you're doing is okay because you're kind of grabbing the attention with this. And then it kind of defaults over to there. And then you also see like the learn Chinese on here. So I think all of that is actually okay. In Portuguese, 7 days. Yeah, I love your titles. Like, what it is that you're doing with your titles, I think is great. I tried to be fluent in Portuguese in 7 days using only Duolingo. So you're saying what you're trying to accomplish, the challenge that you have and that you're going through. And then you also put the limitation out there too. Like, hey, I'm doing this, but I have this limit. Let's see if I can do it, right? I love that. Language super quickly. A trailer. Not sure what that is. If this isn't actual content, I would be careful putting that kind of stuff on there. I would lean it on actual content. Even if this is a promotional thing, people don't hop on YouTube to watch like promotional messages. So because of that, a better, more effective way to do that is to integrate those types of messages into the content itself. You'll get higher conversions that way. In addition to that, you also have where like you have this video here for people that are non-subscribed. So you also have the option to put one in there for people that are subscribed. So this is also a place where you can put that type of thing if that was a promotional video, to where like once they're subscribed, then they see that promotional video and then just tell them, hey, you subscribed to the channel. I wanted to let you know that I've got this, that, and the other thing. That's definitely an approach to take there. But in terms of your thumbnails, what it is that you're doing attention, I think all to grab attention, I think all those things are fine. I love the limitation that you're putting on yourself. Yeah, I love what you're doing with the language content. I'm just wanting you to be clear in terms of the audience. Because here's what you have working against you, man, is you've got like this video right here, it's got 3.8 thousand views on it. TubeSpanner used to have a views per hour. I wonder why that isn't showing up. Not sure. But anyway, you've got 3,000, views on this one. You got 3.8 thousand views on this one. The only concern that I have with what it is that you are doing is like, if this continues to gain viewership, and this continues to gain viewership, then one of the things that you're doing is you're growing a portion of your audience on this stuff that is likely to not respond to this stuff, right? So that's the only thing that I can really see working against you. Same with, some of this older content too. So once you fully commit to this, and once you start getting like momentum with these videos that you're doing here around the languages, if that's the path that you're going to take for a while. Once you get momentum to where you're like, okay, every video that I publish is getting, you know, about X amount of views and I'm cool with that, then I would start considering, you know, unlisting some of these other videos. Just go in and look and see what's getting impressions on it. But really just be like, hey, if this isn't going to be relevant to this, you know, to the direction that I'm heading or taking the channel forward with, then in that case, you know, you might want to consider deleting some of that content. But I would wait until you start picking up real momentum on this and just make sure that you're like, yeah, this is something that I want to, you know, commit to. And the way that you make that commitment is say, could I make 1,000 videos on this? If the answer is yes, then in that case, that would be the thing to move forward with. Or can I make 100 videos on this and then start pivoting the channel into something else, right? Or make a new channel. So yeah, so in your particular case, you know, it's mostly about, you know, audience there. Same thing here with your shorts. I would also make sure that everything that you're publishing to your YouTube shorts is also in alignment with what you are trying to do here. In addition to that, I would also, you're already doing it a little bit here by putting the language videos here. So one thing that I would definitely start doing is if you, because you don't really want to bring attention to these old videos if you're just doing the language. So one thing that you can do for right now, if you are going to be doing language videos, is you could remove these popular videos from, you know, from this particular view, and instead just move the language videos up top, or make a custom playlist that says, you know, most recent uploads or most recent videos or something like that. YouTube has their own, but I wouldn't use that one. Instead, make like a custom one, and then put that here instead. Because what you don't want is you don't want people that are here for the language videos to also get caught up in this stuff for the few people that are going to cross over. Yeah, hopefully that helps. And keep in mind also DMs are open. So if you want to, you know, if you have any questions or anything like that, and you want to send me a message there, just feel free. Just let me know that I looked at your channel here. When you send me the name, I'll remember that. But just, you know, remind me. And if you have any questions, or if I can add clarity, you know, to anything, then let me know. But I think like with your titles, I think you're killing it with your titles. I think your titles are great. And then with the thumbnails that you're doing, I think those, you know, are pretty clear in terms of the imagery that you're using and it being, you know, about a language. I think all of that, you know, is good as well. But I would definitely experiment a lot. Like this one here seemed to have worked, you know, well for you. So has this one. So because of that, you know, when you do have successes like this, I'd try to replicate them. So one thing that I would do, just as an experiment, is I would look at the impressions that like this one and this one is getting. Maybe not if that's like a promotional trailer, but like I would look at the impressions that this one is getting and say like, okay, can I, if it's still getting impressions, let me smack a thumbnail in there that has an exact structure of this one or the exact structure of this one that have already proven to work for me, and see if it makes a difference on how people are clicking on this. And as part of that, go into, just so you can be better informed when you are deciding if this is an effective thumbnail or not, same with these, is go into the analytics at the individual video level for both of these, and go into basically when you're in your YouTube analytics, up here in this area, you're going to see an option that says advanced mode. When you click on advanced mode, it's going to take you into like a more detailed area of your analytics. Around this area of the screen, you're going to see more navigation options. One of them is going to say traffic sources. Click on that. And then when you click on that, set your date range to, you know, I would say this is a month ago. So you could do the last 30 days or 90 days or 35 days if you need to, whenever this is published. And then go and look at browse features, go and look at suggested videos, and go and look at YouTube search. And it's going to show you your click-through rate, the impressions that you're getting, the average view duration for those particular pages on YouTube. So you can start to understand, like, okay, did people really respond to this better on home pages? Are they coming in from search? Like, where are they responding? And that's also going to help you when it comes to making sure that you're doing your thumbnails in a way that are crystal clear, because what you're probably going to find is that like this video here, for example, probably got most of the traffic from recommendations, probably YouTube's homepage. And if that's the case, then people responded well to this from the homepage. And that's why you should try to do the same thing here, especially if you see that you're still getting impressions on the homepage, and you can just find that by shrinking the date range. Like, are they still showing my videos to people here over the last like 7 days? If so, then let me try replicating one of these structures and see if that makes a difference for this video. All right, so let's move on to another one here. So yeah, so hopefully that helped in some way. Like I said before, feel free to shoot me a message if if you do have any questions at all on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. X, formerly Twitter. Okay, so next up, let's see here. What are we going to do here? Let's do, I think orange is one of the colors. So JDoll6, all you got to do is put orange in the chat, because I think that's one of the secondary colors that are being used. Like I can see right here in the Tube Spanner logo underneath my image here. So just a heads up, all you got to do if you are just joining us, all you have to do is put the word orange into the chat. You only have to do it one time. And when you put that word in there, what's going to happen is StreamYard's giveaway tool here is going to basically add these up, and you only have to do it once. And then after you do it that one time, it's going to count it. And then I just hit that draw button right there, and then it's going to randomly pick somebody. But just a heads up, if you are new here and you're new to all this, you're new to the Tube Spanner channel, Tube Spanner is a tool for content creators. It's like your personal assistant when it comes to YouTube. It helps you send your content out to social media platforms without having to leave YouTube through their browser extension. They help you write scripts. You can either write them manually, or you can use their AI assistant to help you get an idea. And it's different than ChatGPT, because with ChatGPT, you're like, okay, make me a script about this, and then it just spits it out. With Tube Spanner, what you have to do is you basically put in the topic of your video, and it actually is going to break down each individual section of the script. And you can move them around if you want. You can tell it, oh, this area here, expand more on this. And then it'll expand just that particular part of the script. Really cool AI script writing tool. And it's the only one like that of its kind. They also have social media bio tools that help you like interconnect your social media accounts. So, like when you go to people's bio pages on like Twitter and Instagram and even YouTube now, and then they have that link where you like click on it, and then it shows like all their social media accounts and links to really anything they want to link out to. Tube Spanner has that, but it's made for content creators. You can embed your most recent video into it, stuff like that. But all kinds of like really helpful tools. There's a ton of them. You can check it out though at tubespanner.com. Build with Mooney, what's going on, my man? Hope you're doing great. Trying to learn bikes. Hope you're doing awesome. Matt Miller's PCs. What's going on? Matt says orange is all over my channel. All right, so we're going to go ahead and hit this and see who gets it. And as a reminder, this is free to everybody. It's just randomly, selected here. But this is free for everybody courtesy of Tube Spanner. So let me see here. Let me see if I can find your channel here with a quick YouTube search. Got it. Boom. Okay. All right, so let's see what we got. Let me make sure that you guys can see the screen. You can. Okay. So first thing, early career to entrepreneur. Just as a quick first glance, just landing on your channel, what I'm guessing or what it seems that you do here is it seems like you are helping people that are trying to start the path of entrepreneurship, and like you are going to be their guide of some kind. And then here's the blueprint: career guidance, side hustles, build a personal brand, and build wealth. Okay, love it. Yeah. So here, your guide to making more money, growing an online brand, and building unbelievable wealth. Absolutely love it. So right here, we can see just notified. He's got 19,000 subscribers on his channel. So, he's doing the things, right, to the point that people are responding to the tune of, almost 20,000 subscribers on his channel so far. So, just a little nudge there for everybody in terms of, and I know some of these videos, definitely need, some of them, not, all of them, but some of them, can definitely do better, but we all have videos like that. But one of the things that I was going to bring attention to is just kind of how good everything looks and how clear it is, what it is that they're doing, that kind of stuff. Okay, so let's get into what it is that you're doing here. So your videos, the truth on how I became YouTube rich, do this to make an extra $1,000 the lazy way, top high paying remote jobs. I paid off my house in under 12 months. Nice work, congratulations. How much YouTube pays small channels versus big channels? Fantastic. How much YouTube pays small creator for $1 million? Okay, then here, career guidance, side hustles, building a personal brand, build wealth, full episodes, early career to entrepreneur, and then shorts. Okay. So I think this might be okay. So I was I'm considering talking about the audience thing, but really for what it is that you're trying to do, I think all of this fits. Because, if somebody's trying to be an entrepreneur, then in that particular case, knowing how to, do well, I don't know, because here you're doing top high paying remote tech jobs. So if you're an entrepreneur, you're not trying to find a job, right? Like unless you're trying to find something to hold you over, you're trying to do your own thing. So because of that, this type of content where you are trying to help people with finding jobs, that might not be the best fit if you are trying to, lead people into entrepreneurship or really just, help them along that path. How I paid off my house in under 12 months, full story. This kind of thing is really cool. But one thing that can be really helpful, especially if your end game is reaching entrepreneurs and helping people, get to entrepreneurship. If you're going to publish something like this as like an inspirational video to like help them be like, hey, yeah, this is possible, then in that case, like how I paid off my house in under 12 months as an entrepreneur would make that video 1,000 times more impactful for the people that you're trying to reach, right? So an advantage of doing that type of thing is that it ensures, I call this an audience identifier, when you put that type of thing in the title for the people that you're targeting. And the whole purpose of doing that is so that you ensure that you get the right people clicking on the video. Because what you don't want is just the general public being like, oh, hey, this random person paid off their house in under 12 months and this is their story. That's not what you actually want, right? You might see views and things like that and be like, oh yeah, they would be great if just the general public did respond to that. But it's not really who you want, because if you're trying to lead people into entrepreneurship and help them with that journey, you're not trying to just get the general public in here. You want entrepreneurs responding to what it is that you're doing. So because of that, when it comes to titles like this, if you're going like, motivational things or just kind of helping people see the vision, because that's something that I think is of huge value to people. I run into that for helping YouTube content creators too. And some of the feedback that I've gotten on multiple occasions is people are like, man, as I was walking down this path, it would have been so encouraging if somebody would have just been like, yeah, this is a reality. This is something that you can actually do. So because of, that feedback, I've, gotten, to where I mention that on a somewhat regular basis now. But like in your case, you are using this as a way to, by adding that, as an entrepreneur, then one, you're instantly going to connect with entrepreneurs there. Two, it's also going to help people that are starting that journey, because, you hear all the stories about people are like, man, I started my business. Now I can't get a car loan. I can't get a house loan. Like nobody's like willing to work with me. Right. Because you don't have that history yet. And when somebody sees that, that can be like oh, okay, they were able to pull this off. So, let me see what they did. Right. So that's just a great way to pull the right audience in. But like when it comes to this, though, I definitely wouldn't worry about that kind of stuff. Like if you're going to be true to this, then I wouldn't do the stuff about the jobs. Lazy way to make an extra $1,000 a month. This is cool. Like it's not real. I mean, it is real entrepreneurship, I guess, but like, do this to make an extra $1,000 a month the lazy way. That's still in alignment, because at least it's people that are still out there, hustling for themselves. So I think that that's still in alignment there. Truth on how this person became YouTube rich, that kind of thing's okay too, because entrepreneurship on YouTube is absolutely a real thing as well. So I think that is also okay in terms of the audience. Title wise, I think this is great, and how this person became YouTube rich, because then you're kind of dangling the carrot in terms of like this person became YouTube rich. So this could content creators can enjoy this, and people that are like, hey, how could I leverage YouTube for my business or whatever, they could also respond to that. But you're using that person that people already know to pull attention into what it is that you're doing, which is the same concept that I shared with the music channel earlier. So all of those things are great. You're using a YouTube-ish logo to grab people's attention that are interested in YouTube in some way. So yeah, I think all of this stuff is fantastic. I would definitely work on some of the entrepreneurship though. Millionaire reveals why 99% will die with debt. Yeah, I like, this is another one to where it's kind of like it's kind of like just a little bit outside, I think, of who it is that you are actually trying to reach with what it is that you are doing. Like one thing that I would do, like in your case, and you can answer here in the chat, like, are you trying to reach people that are trying to be entrepreneurs? Is that who you're trying to reach? Just answer in the chat for me if you don't mind. And the reason I'm asking that is so as I continue this, I can make sure that I'm in alignment with what you're trying to do. So while I'm waiting for that to come in, because there's a pretty big delay here, I'm just going to keep on trucking here, but I'll keep an eye out for that response. But here, how banks fool the middle class every day. Yeah, like this is another one, right? Like this isn't really, if you're trying to reach entrepreneurs, that one right there isn't necessarily like the ideal fit for entrepreneurs. So while I'm waiting on your response, here's the thing that you should do before you publish a video to your channel is, and the reason for this is, let me explain why this is important first. So when you're publishing videos to YouTube, it's really important that if somebody interacts with one piece of content and they go to your channel, that there's more content for that person, and that as much of that content as possible is in alignment with that person, right? If they watch a video and YouTube has a bunch of videos over in the sidebar or underneath the video, depending on the device that they're watching on, then in that particular case, you need all of those videos, or it will help you blow up if all of those videos are related to a very specific type of viewer. Hold on, not necessarily. Looking for folks that want to become financially free and break away from the 9-to-5. Okay, then in that case, I would do it in reverse, right? So then in that case, if you're not going after entrepreneurs, you just want people, well, I don't know though. I mean, if they're wanting to break away from the 9-to-5, like becoming financially free and breaking away from the 9-to-5, like both of those, I mean, in a lot of cases, you need to break away from the 9-to-5 unless you have, like an exec job or something. You need to break away from the 9-to-5 in order to become financially free anyway, in most cases. But in terms of that want to become financially free and to break away from the 9-to-5, then in that particular case, early career to entrepreneur might not necessarily be the right messaging for what it is that you are trying to do either. Because then in that particular case, like if they're trying to become financially free, then in that case, like the debt stuff, all those things, that all makes total sense. To trying to become financially free because they need to be educated on these things. When it comes to them breaking away from the 9-to-5, then this one definitely is not a good fit for those people. But putting this one, as an entrepreneur also might not be the best fit either. So because of that, I'm glad I asked that question. So if you are, if you're not trying to reach entrepreneurs, then I wouldn't even worry about putting as an entrepreneur on there, because that's not really who it is that you are, that you're trying to reach. And then in that particular case, the truth of how this person became YouTube rich, that also might not be a perfect fit for the people that you are actually trying to reach either. This is perfect. This is a slam dunk, right? Do this to make an extra $1,000 a month the lazy way, right? Because then if somebody makes so really quick, Scrubby Game says, how are Tube Spanner Nick associated? I make content for Tube Spanner. I'm friends with the owner of Tube Spanner. I promote Tube Spanner as an affiliate on my channel. I also do some advising for Tube Spanner where we talk about like features and things like that can be helpful for creators and ways that we can make them better for the people that are using the tool. But basically this type of thing I think is absolutely great. But basically what I would do is just before you publish anything to the channel, to make a long story short here, is I would say, okay, for somebody that's trying to break away from the 9-to-5 and be financially free, would this topic be a good fit for them? And then basically just say yes or no. And if it is a yes, then in that case, publish it. If the answer is no, or not like, I'm like 98% certain, then in that case, shelf it until you can find a way to make it perfect, or just come up with a different video idea. But yeah, like this type of stuff, right? 5 money habits that'll keep you broke forever. That's cool for people that are, actively trying to become financially free, but I'm not sure. Like that's another one that's kind of for like the general public, right? And all I'm doing right now is I'm just thinking like audience clarity. That's what I'm getting at. Like when we're working on this right now, I'm just trying to see exactly who it is that you're trying to reach and making sure that what you're creating is in alignment for those people. So like 5 money habits that will keep you broke forever. So if somebody was trying to become financially free, would they care about a video on the money habits that will keep them broke forever if they're trying to figure out how to actually make more money and how to invest that money, or how to use that money to make more money? right? It's like that one's kind of like a negative where people might be looking for the positive, but you'll figure that out on your channel anyway in terms of which approach people respond to best. But yeah, I would definitely just run your ideas through a filter in terms of like, is this going to be a good fit for the people that I'm trying to serve here on my channel? Because like some of these kind of lean on like, like this one is something like, hey, sell everything I own, or lose my house. How the IRS find me for working 2 remote jobs, revealing my 8 streams of income for $20,000 a month, exposing my net worth at age 35. Yeah, like some of these make sense. Some of them don't for like for the financial independence stuff. But okay, let's get past the audience. Okay, so let's say that these were all perfectly aligned for an audience. I think that what you're doing with your titles, I think your titles are fine. Top high paying remote tech jobs revealed. That's good. Do this to make an extra $1,000 a month the lazy way. I mean, that speaks volumes. The truth on how this person became YouTube rich. Absolutely. That's a win. How much YouTube pays small channels versus big channels. Yep. Yeah. I think your titles are fine. Some of the imagery that you're using in your thumbnails, I think all of that stuff is fine. So I think that you're definitely, heading in the right path there. But one thing that I would do is I would definitely lean into, I mean, with this one, I think you probably just caught timing on this one, which is really smart. But like on this one, when this interview first dropped, that was all over the place, right? It was like, you got to see this. But when you have breakout videos like this that do exceptionally better than the other ones, same here with this one, you want to make sure that you are digging into these. And I don't know if you've done this or not yet, but you want to dig into them and ask yourself like, okay, do I think these videos did well because I published them at the right time and just topically they nailed it? Or do I think they did well because of how people experienced the video once they came into it? So like, okay, yes, it was at the right time, but it was also compelling in terms of how you packaged it, which it was. But how did they actually respond to the video content? And the reason that you want to do that when you have videos that break out in comparison to the other videos is because when you start digging into how people responded to the video, when it's had a lot of activity, you actually get more accurate information when you're deciding on what it is that you should be doing with your videos. So for example, little details, like if you add like a logo intro to your videos, then in that particular case at scale, you can see how more people responded to it versus how 100 people responded to it if you got views on 100 videos, right? So your data gets a lot more accurate on those videos. In addition to that, when you have videos break out, it can also start helping you paint a picture of what success does look like on the channel, like at a per video level. And it can help you just kind of track when you need to change something. So for example, if you go in and you try to understand these videos and you're like, okay, if I look in the traffic sources report, I find out that most of the views on this came from home pages. Then in that particular case, I know that I'm doing a really good job at being compelling and being able to grab somebody's attention and pull them into my video when they were not expecting to watch my video when they logged onto YouTube. However, if you're somebody, and not saying just you, but anybody here in the chat, if you are, somebody that goes in and you're looking for those breakout videos and you're like, oh, okay, almost all my traffic came from YouTube search, but I'm not getting anything from suggested videos or browse features or hardly anything in comparison, then that's the opposite, where it tells you, okay, well, I need to work on, I'm good when people are looking for my content, but I need to work on being able to grab their attention and pull them into my content when they're not expecting to watch my videos, right? So it just kind of helps you identify problem areas and be able to just know where people are responding to your content on YouTube, which will help you, of course, be able to help them identify your content and come into it more efficiently. Hey, thanks for the super chat. Appreciate it. Repair Gang says, just sending Tube Spanner Nick some love because he helped me get to 10,000 subs, and I just signed up for Tube Spanner. Awesome. Welcome aboard to Tube Spanner, and thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. Let's see here. So yeah, so there is that. Now, man, I hate this new layout. I don't know if you guys have this yet, but YouTube's new layout completely sucks. Per my opinion. I don't know if you have this or not, but God, I hate it. So let's see here. There's actually money on YouTube. Okay, so another thing really quick that can also be helpful. So YouTube has, and I think I still have this in here, so I'm going to switch the brand account here to my StreamYard one. Do I have that in here? No, I do not. Maybe it's in the TubeBuddy one. Give me 1 second. Okay. So one thing that YouTube has here in terms of YouTube search by itself, but this also applies to their recommendation system in general. They say that one of the search factors are how well the title, description, and video content match the viewer search. So because of that, and hold on, I want to see something really quick if that's, okay, no. But basically because of that, another thing that I just want to bring to your attention is that it can be helpful in terms of giving their system more context to what your video is about to fill out your video description. YouTube recommends a paragraph or two to tell you, or to basically tell the viewers what the video is about. And as part of that, their system actually reads that description to better understand who to show your content to. So the system's smart enough to actually watch the video itself and to hear the words being said in the video and all that. It also takes the title and the context, which has the heaviest weight. But you also want to make sure that you are filling out the video description as well. And I see that you're doing that down here. But I would actually move all of that up here. And I understand the logic where you're like, okay, well, the reason I'm doing that is so that when the description is minimized, at least over here, where it was, that people could directly click on the links there because it's above the fold. I understand that idea. But what you want to do is you just want to make sure that you're just kind of moving this stuff around and putting it up here so that their system can get all the information it needs from that top part of the description. And you're doing all this stuff on here to make money. So this is good, getting people into your list, which is good. Oh, you got an audiobook. Nice, nice. Love it. Oh, this is for YouTube secrets. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Creator resources, grow your channel. Yeah, all this stuff is good. Fantastic. Equipment supplies. Yeah, good. Okay, fantastic. Links. Awesome. Yeah, great. Yeah, so all the way around, man. I think you're doing, you're doing well. Just one thing that I would do though is I would definitely just get crystal clear on who it is that you're trying to reach and just run the content through a filter. And don't be flexible with that filter either. Like, it's easy to be like, well, I could probably kind of make this work. A better way to take that approach is to be like, okay, if I'm going to publish this, is this 100% going to just be a slam dunk for the core audience that I'm trying to reach with my channel? And the more that you focus on that and the more clear you get with that, and the more that you express that clarity through the content that you're publishing, the better you're going to be and the faster you're going to grow. Other things I would look for too, man, is like, here you got this YouTube video, it's got 2,000 here. You got this one on making an extra $1,000 a month the lazy way. Other things too, man, it's like, okay, if people responded to both of these, let me make one on how somebody can make $1,000 a month just on YouTube, right? Because they responded to this one and responded to this one. So that one seems kind of like just a natural kind of follow-up to somebody that might have watched this one and this one, right? So I would definitely, kind of keep going on the path that you're going, but just make sure whatever you're publishing is a perfect fit for the people that you are, genuinely trying to reach. Because as you could see when I first started, looking at your channel, I was kind of, I thought I was clear based on everything that's happening here. But then when you responded in chat, you're like, yeah, that's not actually who I'm trying to reach. So I would definitely try to sync up, who it is that you are trying to reach with the messaging that you have going on in your channel too. Going through that process will also help you get a little bit more clear too on exactly, who it is that you're publishing for. But congratulations to you on 19,000 subscribers. Just as a quick thing for you, man, like you're crushing it. Just in case you don't know, like I know as a content creator, you see channels on YouTube like Mr. Beast and some of these other channels where they get like hundreds of thousands of views per video or millions of views for video, and it can make you sometimes feel like hey, I only got 2,000 views on this video or whatever. But like you're crushing, you're doing great. Like most content creators right? If you look at YouTube at scale, most content creators don't get 2,000 views on a video. Most content creators never make it to 19,000 subscribers. So you're crushing, and I just want you to know that when it comes to when it comes to what it is that you're doing. Okay, so next up on our list, and same thing for you. If you have any questions about anything that I mentioned, feel free to shoot me a DM on Twitter. Just let me know, right? Because I have, I get a decent amount of DMs because of the nature of my content. So just shoot me a message and be like, hey, you looked at my channel, the Tube Spanner channel. I just had, a few questions or whatever. If you have any questions, if not, that's fine. But my DMs are open if you do. Okay, so next up, we are going to do Tube Spanner Purple. We're just going to make it all one word, just in case people started putting that in, just to be a pain. If you are just joining us, all you have to do to get your channel looked at is put Tube Spanner Purple in the chat, all together as one word, and then it's going to log it into this system here. And when it logs it into this system, then I'm just going to randomly select, or it's going to, when I hit the draw button, it's going to randomly pick somebody out of the chat. And while you guys, and it's free, by the way, to do that. And really quick, there's actually something I'm going to play here if I still have it in here, and I do. And I'm just going to play this for you guys really quick while you're putting that into the chat, just for a little bit more insight on Tube Spanner's browser extension and what it can do.
The Tube Spanner browser extension will help you in multiple ways as a content creator. The Upload Assistant will help you upload and optimize your videos more efficiently by utilizing customizable upload templates and smart tokens so you can insert very specific elements into your description when you need them. The AI title generator will give you options for your titles, which can sometimes help you make them better. And it doesn't stop there. You can also schedule your videos to be promoted across your social media accounts. You can take notes on educational videos, competitor videos, or even make chapters for your videos. The thumbnail preview tool will help you see what your thumbnails look like embedded into the different pages of YouTube so you can see how your thumb stands out against a sea of other videos before you even publish. And those are just a few of the many powerful features you'll find in the Tube Spanner browser extension. And there's even more inside of the tubespanner.com website. Go ahead and get the extension installed, and welcome to Tube Spanner. We're looking forward to helping you grow your influence online.
All right. So let's see, we're going to draw it and let's see what we got. We've got, here we go. Homekeeping channel. All right. Homekeeping channel coming right up. So let me open up a YouTube tab here. Let me pull up your channel. And then we are going to drag this over. Boom. Okay, I think we are good. And yep, can see that on screen. Everything is good there. All right, here we go. So, home gaming channel, cleaning one space at a time. Makes total sense. Crystal clear on what it is that you're doing. As we scroll down the page, keeping a YouTube clean. I would definitely add a little bit more to that in terms of, because I'm not really sure, keeping a YouTube clean, just grammatically, I'm not sure how that comes across, unless that's some type of catchphrase or something that you're doing. I would definitely just kind of run that through a checker of some kind for whatever, because this is, people are using this information for clarity on what it is that you are, doing. So because of that, I would definitely add just a little bit of clarity there. Hey, Repair Gang, thanks again for the super chat. Says Nick's favorite saying, next up on our list. I do kind of like saying that, actually. Yeah, it's just kind of my way to kind of move on, right? So let's see here. So right out of the gate in the For You, it's just kind of recommending some of this content. It's all in alignment with what it is that you do on your channel. So that's a win. Just a heads up, just in case you guys don't know this, I actually have a video coming out on hidden YouTube features because I mentioned this to people and people are like, oh God, I didn't know you could do that. But this For You section right here, this is a quick tip for everybody. You can go into your customization settings on your channel and you can toggle this on or off if you want. And if you're somebody that does live streams and publish shorts and things like that, but you only want to focus on your videos or live streams, or you just want to focus on one or two formats, then you can go in there and you can tell it like, okay, I just wanted to show videos, or I just wanted to show live streams, I just wanted to show shorts, or I just wanted to show live streams and videos and not shorts, or whatever configuration that you want. You can do that in your customization settings in your channel, just a heads up. But let's see here. Cleaning made simple, practical tips and solutions. All of that is good. Most popular videos, clean smarter, not harder. Learn the everyday basics to laundry. Love these. I love how you are titling these, because like, somebody's landing on your channel page and like, yeah, I'm trying to figure this stuff out. You've got like, okay, practical tips and solutions. This here is just letting them know the videos on your channel that are popular. But here, like, learn the everyday basics to laundry. I think that's a win. Kitchen cleaning guides made simple. Yeah, like these are great. Kitchen organization. Yeah, how you're setting all of these things up. This is absolutely fantastic on those. Okay, let's go and look at the video content here. When it comes to, so now I should start saying like, next up on our list when it comes to XYZ is, love it. So let's see here. Let's see here is also another one, if we want to stack onto those. But I'm going to set it again. See, now I'm going to be super like hyper mindful to the point I'm not going to be able to say anything. Secrets to sparkling bathroom sink home cleaning tips. So one thing that I would try in your case, if possible, I guess not really, because this sink isn't like gross. So I was going to say doing like a before and after picture, but this sink itself isn't like a gross sink to where it would be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they were able to turn it into that. So because of that, I don't think that is really the right move for that. Bathroom sink cleaning, secrets of sparkling bathroom sink. So here, and this is going to sound like corny, but one thing that I would consider is like, and this is just like a little nuanced thing, but if you are doing, this isn't required, this is just my brain and how it works, but like how you have here, like secrets to sparkling bathroom sink, it would just be fun if you had just like a little like sparkle star, like right here, right? Just like a little like bing. They have brushes for that in Photoshop. I don't know if you're using Photoshop or not, but that would just be a fun little thing there because it's sparkling. Make bathroom smell nice. Guide to discovering 6 bathroom odor solutions and cleaning tips. So one thing that you might want to try, because I'm not seeing it here, like I'm guessing a lot of these are going to be search targeted, like kind of slow burn videos that hopefully will show up in search later, like how to clean your kitchen sink and drain. But here, like guide to discovering 6 bathroom odor solutions. I would also run that type of thing through a filter of sorts where you think to yourself, can I make this any more clear or compelling before I commit to this? So for example, guide to discovering 6 bathroom odor solutions. By throwing guide in there, it kind of throws the whole thing off a little bit. Like if it was something along the lines of, these 6 bathroom odor solutions will make your bathroom smell amazing, then in a situation like that, then you are making a suggestion that you're taking them through 6 bathroom odor solutions. And then you're also putting a reward at the end in terms of, once I watch this, then if I apply these things in my bathroom might end up smelling amazing instead of smelling like whatever the bathroom smells like, right? So I think it just kind of, it shifts the promise just a little bit. And I think that it also makes it a little bit more compelling too, because guide to discovering 6 bathroom odor solutions is confusing from an outside perspective, right? Like one thing that we run into as creators, and we all do this, is that when we're publishing videos, we already know what's in the videos and we know everything about the video, and it's kind of obvious to us, right? Because we made the video. So when we're writing titles, it can be really easy to overdo a title and make it more complicated than it needs to be. And this might sound like I'm getting into semantics, but these types of things matter. So if it's a guide to discovering 6 bathroom odor solutions, then if it was really a guide to discovering something, then there probably wouldn't be a number attached to the things that they were discovering, possibly. I'm not sure. But like, I would definitely work on it. And I know this video did well in comparison to some of the other most recent ones. So, you know, people definitely responded to the video and how you did it. But when you are putting this type of thing together, I would definitely try to be just more clear. Like, you know, these 6 bathroom odor solutions will, again, you know, will make your bathroom smell fresh or make your bathroom smell amazing or something like that. It's just a stronger promise, but you can still share the same content inside, right? So I would definitely work on, you know, just that sort of thing. Now, on the opposing side, you have things like this, right? Bathroom rug cleaning, how to quick and easy guide. So this is another one to where like it almost nails it, but it's just a little bit off. So you have bathroom rug cleaning, how to quick and easy guide. That is kind of a tongue twister of sorts when it just comes to easily understanding it. So the bathroom rug cleaning, crystal clear, nailed it. Image, okay, we got the bathroom rug too. But the how to quick and easy guide, I think that could also work on a little bit of clarity as well. So just quick and easy guide, I think would do the trick instead of having the how-to in there, just, you know, in general. Because if it's a bathroom rug cleaning and it's a quick and easy guide, that suggests that it's a how-to, right? So I think just kind of being a little less wordy in some of these might work out to your advantage. Yeah, same thing here with like the Discover. Another thing too, when it comes to, you know, being compelling is, and I'm hammering you on the titles right now, just because one, these things, you know, they you know, matter, of course. But two, like, you know, everything else that you're doing, you know, like your thumbnails, you know, are pretty clear and, you know, things like that. So, you know, I'm trying to work on something here that, you know, that might move the needle for you, you know, like a little bit more. So this is another one where being more compelling can be advantageous. So here you have Discover 9 essential amazing cleaning gadgets. This is another one where I think if it was just reformatted a little bit to also build in a reward, like, you know, 9 essential Amazon cleaning gadgets you didn't know you needed, or that I can't live without, or, you know, something like that, to where it's like, okay, these are these 9 essential Amazon cleaning gadgets. And then you put something, you know, some type of like, okay, well, what are these things? Like, why do these things matter, you know, at the end of it? You know, 9 essential Amazon cleaning gadgets for under a certain price, you know, that type of thing. So then you just add that reward at the end. Tips before starting. Yeah, other things too. And this is just all working on like the copywriting / compelling nature of what it is that you're doing. So here, like spring clean, 5 organizing tips before starting. One, I would definitely get the space in there, because when it comes to this is likely being interpreted as one word by YouTube, since there's not a space in there. But basically, spring clean, 5 organizing tips before starting. This would be better formatted and would actually be expressed in a more fluid way in terms of just being more clear if it was 5 organizing tips before starting your spring clean, right? And then that way, or, you know, 5 organizing tips, 5 spring cleaning organizing tips you need to know before you start, right? And I know some of that stuff, I know that it feels a bit like, it's kind of, you know, clickbaity. Compelling and clickbait are 2 totally different things. So compelling is where you are, you know, just making, you know, you're using more impactful language, and clickbait is when you're misleading people, right? So the more impactful language, you see it all over YouTube because it works, and it works really well. People respond to it, right? So I would definitely try incorporating some of that into what it is that you're doing, because I think you're nailing it on the clarity on some of this stuff, but I think that you could just level it up if you just sit back, right? Like when you write the title, like for example, Discover 9 essential Amazon cleaning gadgets. If you sit back and you're like, okay, so this is a good title. I'm happy with this. This matches the video, or the video idea that I have. But is there anything that I could do to this that would make it, one, easier to understand, and two, that would make it that would give it just a little bit more like, oomph, right? I would definitely, just kind of workshop those a little bit when you are committing to the idea before you even make the video, so that you can make sure, and you do this at the idea stage, and you do that so that you can make sure that however it is that you're going to frame it from the outside, if you're going to try to make it super compelling, that as soon as they click on the video and they come into it, you can reassure them that they're in the right place by telling them, right? I'm going to share with you, these 9 essential Amazon cleaning gadgets completely, changed everything, everything about the way that I clean. You're going to love these. I'm going to show you, these nine Amazon cleaning gadgets completely changed the way that I clean my house. I'm going to show you the details of each one so that you can, be as, pleased as you are about how clean your house has become or something like that. I don't know. But the idea is that you just match them on the inside. So you want to do it at the ideation stage. Says, thanks, Nick. I do struggle with my titles, even with the help of tools. So this was extremely helpful. Yeah, my pleasure. My pleasure. Best cleaning practice, toilet brush and holder. Other things too that I would do only when it applies, and you actually are doing it here, so never mind, is before and after stuff and things like that. Best shower head lime scale remover in 4 steps. Yeah, this is another one. You might be going after search for this one for best shower head lime scale remover. If so, this is fine. But this is another one to where it's like this. Let's see here. How could I do this one? So this fluid, this one thing will remove the lime scale from your shower heads, or it will make your shower heads, super clean, or it'll make your shower heads cleaner than they've ever been, or something like that. Is definitely something that I would consider even for stuff like that. Like some of these are okay, right? Like here, like bathroom cleaning, my 5-minute shortcut to clean. This is super clear in terms of, it's a bathroom cleaning and it's your 5-minute shortcut to clean. Just the language, right? Like if you say it out loud. I was actually having a conversation. It actually might've been in a stream. God, when was it? Might've actually been, God, was it during this stream earlier? This is how much I talk about this stuff with people. So sometime today, I think it was, I mentioned to someone about saying the titles out loud. So basically, when you are writing titles, try to vocalize those titles. And by doing so, it kind of helps you be able to see like how everything kind of flows together. Because as you would say it, people are also saying it that way in their own minds. So when you vocalize them, it just helps make sure that your titles are clear. All right, so I'm going to move on to another one, but hopefully that was helpful. And same thing, as you already know, because you've been in here before. So you're around, all the content also, which I super appreciate. So thank you. But if you have any questions about any of that stuff, definitely feel free to shoot me a DM on Twitter. Next up on the list, we are going to do, is this still showing on the screen? It is. Let's do tube spanner YouTube tips, just because we're here giving people tips, and that's a pretty long thing to write out. Let's see here. Just kind of looking through the chat real quick while I'm waiting for some of those to come in, because there's a pretty heavy delay on this. I need to check the stream settings here in the channel, because it's like a really heavy delay. Oh, I should have used Bo Darvel. Man, why didn't I think of that? So repair gangsters, I have so much tool organization and still leave my tools laying around. Amen to that. That's why you moved to the Philippines. Housekeeper for $7 a day, comes in, cleans, makes lunch, goes home, 3 hours. Yeah, it's like that here too. Let's see. Not every view is equal. If those 200 views add up to a lot of watch hours, it's great. I'm not sure what the conversation was having there, but that's absolutely true. Not all views are equal, 100%. Brian, what's going on, dude? Hope you're doing fantastic. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, that's the thing about YouTube Shorts too, is like shorts are good for getting in front of people, but they're just kind of low quality views in a lot of cases. They still convert, people can still sell from them, things like that. But if you're a content creator that's not doing it, in like a business capacity where you're trying to send people to websites and things like that, if you're just doing it for like vanity numbers on YouTube, yeah, those views aren't really worth much, except for what it appears like your channel is from the outside. So Repair Gang says, my channel's main problem is people come to watch repair their machine and then go. I'm a resource channel and I own search on my terms. Yeah, it's good. And there's nothing wrong with that either. Like an advantage of search traffic is that it is like it can be really stable. So because of that, there's nothing wrong with going after YouTube search at all. Like if you want like quick wins, that's where the recommendation system is, but like or comes into play. But when it comes to YouTube search, yeah, you can create like one, just sustainable traffic, and two, you can actually use that traffic if you're if you have affiliate links or your own stuff that you're bringing attention to or whatever, you can use that search traffic to bring in large amounts of revenue also for your YouTube related business. Okay, so we've got 45 entries in here, so we'll go ahead and pull this. Oh no. Okay. Whoo. I thought I accidentally closed it out and everybody's gonna have to put it in there again. So here we go. One step. All right, dude. Here we go. Subscribers on the YouTube channel. And let's see what they've got going on here. So the best cameos for Ermac Mortal Kombat. Okay, you're using the Mortal Kombat imagery in there. That's going to help them identify it. You got the Mortal Kombat logo in there. Thumbnail, knocking it out of the park, in my opinion. Same thing here. You got the Mortal Kombat. The red arrows are kind of pulling away from that a smidge, but you still got the important part there. This, I don't know if this is a Mortal Kombat character or not. I know they've got the dude. Yeah, this dude right here, but I'm not sure, what the face looks like, but that logo in there is going to grab attention. The whole thing is kind of stands out. Same thing here, grabbing attention over there. Yeah, like thumbnail wise, all that stuff's good. Mortal Kombat 1, how to play Ermac guide, combos and tips. Mortal Kombat 1 list. So typically, just as a heads up, and this is just a quick best practice thing, and you do this on, it looks like all of them except for this one and this one, it looks like. Typically, you would put the Mortal Kombat 1 back here, just as kind of like a best practice thing, because this is more of like an after the fact identifier. Plus, you've already got it up here that it's a Mortal Kombat video. So this one right here, like how to play Ermac guide, combos and tips, and then like a bar or a hyphen, and then like Mortal Kombat 1, because it would all still fit, within that, character count. So I think you'd be good there. But just best practice wise, for the next videos, like this one's doing okay, so I wouldn't mess with it. But for the next videos that you publish, I would just try to maintain the format of putting the Mortal Kombat here at the end, because you're doing a great job in terms of using the imagery and the logos and stuff to grab the attention of the thumbnail to let them know it's about the Mortal Kombat, and then moving that to the end, of course, is going to be, it's going to help them see quickly the exact thing that you're doing inside of Mortal Kombat. Mechanics, praise and cancels, multiverses, Mortal Kombat, game trailer. Combat. Okay, so yeah, even here you're actually, because I was going to talk about like focusing them more on Mortal Kombat. Like one thing that I would consider is when you are doing stuff like this, where you are taking up like, because humans respond to humans when it comes to thumbnails. So because of that, like you're going to be one of the first things that somebody looks at when it comes to the thumbnail. So I would definitely try to make an effort to make this. I mean, it's pretty clear. Don't get me wrong. Like you don't have to go in and change this thumbnail or anything, but I would try to do something here that just makes this stand out, just a little bit more, so that when they're looking at this, it's just a no-brainer to just kind of go down to that, or to where this actually ends up pulling the attention more than your face does. But I mean, this is fine, but I'm just saying, like, I would experiment with that type of thing when it comes to your the images where you put your human face on there, because people do respond to the faces, and you also want them to see that. But as a combo, they're going to see both anyway. But what I'm saying is just like, oh, Mortal Kombat, Mortal Kombat, Mortal Kombat for the people that are into the game to help them identify that faster. Yeah, so just a few, props here. So first, I love that, a lot of the text that you're using is, it's just big, bold, easy to read. You're, with the exception of this one here, you're not, just jam packing these with text and everything. You're putting like a really strong emphasis on the, the imagery, of that. You're keeping the word usage, very limited. All of that is absolutely fantastic. Yeah, another thing I would experiment with too is, you're doing the Mortal Kombat up front here too. Another thing I would experiment with too is like even if you're going to use the imagery, and I guess you are kind of doing it back here, it's just really subtle. Is also trying to work in, like, I don't know if you have it yet, but as soon as you get YouTube's A/B testing feature, I would go into thumbnails like this and change this to like, the Mortal Kombat 1 logo. And then that way you've got him and you've got the logo in there. So it's just like wham. Because here you might actually have some people gloss over this, probably not, but you might have some people gloss over this just because, that logo is not actually in there. Might. Right. But I would, once you get their feature, I would definitely test that. Technically, you can do it now with TubeBuddy also, with their A/B testing feature, if that's, if you have a TubeBuddy Legend account. Yeah, I think what you're doing with your thumbs and stuff is great. I would do that tiny tweak though to the titles. And just track it over time. You can use the YouTube grouping feature in analytics to where, you can say, okay, I've already got all these videos on my channel where I have Mortal Kombat 1 in the front. So I'm going to put all those into one group, and then I'm going to make like 10 more or 5 more that don't have that. To where I put it at the end instead. And then I'm going to compare and see if there's a click-through rate difference on them. You'll want to keep some things in mind, which is why you want to actually have this going across, a bunch of videos. But you want to keep in mind that, some videos, maybe because of the timing or something like that, might have done better. But you can start to, over time, just kind of whittle down, like, okay, when I do this, it seems like they, respond to this better than when they do this, by using YouTube's grouping feature in their analytics. Okay, so since you're nailing it on that stuff, let's go into some other things. Okay, so in shorts, you've got that, playing the game, you got you in there for the fun with that. You're playing the imagery, you're getting good views on these. Doing great, let's move on. Live streams, crushing on your live streams as well. And this is what I was talking about with the character and the logo on there. I would definitely mess with this because people are clearly responding to it in your live streams. And okay, here's something to think about. So when you're publishing videos to YouTube, especially when you have people that keep coming back to the channel because they love your videos, the people that are hanging out in your live streams, they're getting conditioned to see this and identify this, right? So because of that, I would experiment with this a lot with your videos as well, to see if you can just build these types of things as your thumbnails, to see if you can get similar responses, through the video content by doing something similar with your thumbnails if you haven't, experimented with that already. Because people are clearly responding to these. And I don't know if these are coming while you're live or if they're happening on the replay or a mixture of two, I'm not sure. But as people see these and they're like, oh, One Step's live, and they come in, then what you are doing there psychologically for the people that are the most in tune with what it is that you're doing, or your biggest fans, those people, they see that and they're using like how you're putting these together in that very specific style. Image up here, focus on, it looks like mostly single character too. And then, it goes down to the logo. Like, people are being like trained in a way to where when they see that, for the people that are really into your stuff, they're like, oh, this is one of his, and they're clicking on it. For that reason, I would experiment with doing a similar thing in the videos themselves to see if they also, if you can also use that as like a branding thing to where it's like, hey, if you see a thumbnail that looks like this, it's probably mine, right? Nice. Okay, so I'm going to call you on this just because like you're, doing well and everything else. So right here, another thing that I would definitely do on a regular basis also is I would definitely start sharing more of your videos in here and just start using this, more actively too. And this is one of those things to where it's like, okay, if you're comfortable, then, don't worry about it. But if you're like, hey, I'm trying to just do everything that I possibly can to move this channel forward right now, then in that case, because you can schedule these. So if you're like, okay, I go live on these days, I publish videos on these days, then one thing that you can do is you can say, okay, well, I'm going to just schedule these because I know I publish on these days and I know I go live on these days. So on the days that I'm not, posting content, I can post to my community tab as a way to just keep people engaged. And here also, like, the very specific things that you're doing is great. People are responding to these. And I know that it looks like when you share videos here that people aren't responding to them if you are looking at these numbers. But what I want you to do when you get the chance is take one of your videos on one of the days where you're not streaming or you don't publish content, take one of your videos and in the community post, say something along the lines of, and make sure it's a good video that people are enjoying or that they've enjoyed in the past. And say something along the lines of, hey, I've been getting a lot of really good feedback on this video. If you haven't seen this yet, check it out. And then post a link to the video. Then instead of looking at it here and being like, oh man, I only got like 2 comments on this and 6 likes and 11 likes and 3 comments. Instead of looking at it there, because that can be discouraging and that can make you feel like sharing video content in there isn't effective. What I want you to do is I want you to actually go and look in the actual stats of the video, the view stats of the video, and look for the spike in viewership for the people that did go over there to that video. That's where you actually track that instead of looking at it here. Because this can be really misleading when it comes to videos to where you're like, oh yeah, I'm not even going to share videos in there because people aren't responding to them. You actually want to look in the video content itself. And technically you can even go in here for like when you shared this a month ago, you can go in that one and you can look in the stats in that one too, to just look for that, little spike that you got there. But they unfortunately don't, show us this kind of information, right here for those to see exactly, what's going on. So you have to actually go look in the video that you are, that you're sharing there. Okay, you got a store. That's good. Got your logo in there. Love what you're doing. Love all of this. So yeah, you got your channel memberships active. Hold on, let me check out for you here. Man, I hate this layout. I'm going to complain about this until they change it. I know they're kind of testing it or whatever, but yeah, I don't like it. It's fantastic on the descriptions. Using hashtags in here. Okay, so we're going to do something new here. We're going to pop these open and just make sure everything is a good fit for what it is that you're doing. Because sometimes we can use hashtags and they're not actually the content that people are responding to for those terms. So here we got fighting game community. Gotta hate that they're showing shorts here too. Absolutely hate it. It's like YouTube is cannibalizing themselves with putting shorts everywhere. I was actually doing some hashtag research earlier today, and it was like this on like a lot of the hashtags I was looking at. So unfortunate. Okay, so this one I think is a good fit, right? Mortal Kombat 1, obviously. Fighting game community. I don't know if I'd use that hashtag. It looks like the content that is featured here, some of it is new if it's a short, but it looks like the long form content that's featured here is pretty dated. So that means that these are performing really well for this particular term. So I wouldn't necessarily even, waste the space with that. I mean, you can, but I wouldn't. But I would definitely, you're a perfect fit for that one. All Mortal Kombat stuff, perfect fit there. Oh, this is all you. So this is your hashtag. Okay, good. Yeah, keep that one. And then FGC. Okay, yeah, I think this one might be okay too. I guess this stands for like fighter game community. This one might be okay, but as you can see here, like the results that it's giving, yeah, this may not be one actually that you want to use. Yeah, see how these shorts are coming in here? God, what a shame. And then they also have a button where you can click shorts, but they don't have a button where you can click live or where you can click like regular videos. Like what a garbage dump YouTube is turning some of these results into. So unfortunate. Okay. So yeah. So your hashtags are good, for the most part. You're doing, all the stuff here. You've got a way to make money here outside of ads. Plus you're doing your channel memberships. You got merch here. Okay. So I got one more thing for you, and then we're going to move on to another channel. So the thing that I have for you is that right now you have your Amazon shop. So you're already an Amazon affiliate. So you have your shop here. So you do have your top gaming accessories. So this is going to kind of do the same exact thing. But one thing that I would do is I would definitely go in and right underneath this, because I know they have your shop, but I would do like, these are all of your gaming accessories, but I would do like focus on a thing or like a couple of things to put like a little block here to where when they click on anything in that block, they actually go to like a sales page of that video, of that item. So for example, like when you like here, instead of it just saying Amazon shop, where they can go there too, but underneath that saying like, must have, gaming products, or kind of the same thing, my favorite, gaming accessories, and literally listing them out. And I know it adds more links to your video description, but I would still do that for the sake of them being able to just be like, oh yeah, controller, I am looking for a controller, or oh, headphones, yeah, I am looking for headphones. Because when you do top gaming accessories, then for them, they have to kind of use their imagination. Like we all know what accessories are, but it's like, well, what, who knows what's behind that? But if you're like, yeah, these gaming headphones, are amazing, or these are the gaming headphones that I use, then in that particular case, for the people that are nosy, they'll go and open those up. And the reason I'm sharing this one is because I do that. So one thing that I love doing is when I go and I'm interacting with a content creator's channel, if I see something in their like set or something like that, or the area that they're recording in, I'm like, oh man, I wonder what that is. First thing I do is I go down to the video description. And then when I hit the video description, I'm like, I'm looking for it. And for the channels that are like, I use this, and this, I just right click. If I'm on a computer and open them up, if I'm on my phone, then I'll just sit there and, tap them all. But I basically just go through and I look at all of the things that are of interest to me on the individual items. And I hardly ever click into the shops. So I don't speak on behalf of humanity and on behalf of everybody, but I'm just saying, for me, I use links in that way. So I just recommend that you at least get a small, like, maybe 3 items that you also put here in your video description of very common things, be it like, these headphones, and then put like a little message of why those headphones are important to you. Like, these headphones, these are the best sounding headphones that I've found yet. Or, this is the, my, the chair that I'm using, like, I can game all day in this chair. I use this chair because I can game in it all day, something like that. But basically you want to sell it a little bit and then, and have those links down there. So again, man, in your situation, if you have any questions about any of that, definitely, feel free to reach out on Twitter, and I can add any clarity there. Okay, next up on our list here, we are going to use the word. We're going to make this easy and just do tube spanner 2. Okay, here it comes. Here it comes. Here it comes. Okay, we got 15. And by the way, if you are new here, all you have to do is put tube spanner 2 into the chat, And this is this tool that I'm using here. It's going to just randomly pick somebody that put that. It's 100% free thanks to TubeSpanner, which is a tool for YouTube content creators. Helps you in a bunch of different ways. The way that I look at TubeSpanner is it's like your YouTube assistant. So if you're a content creator, check out tubespanner.com. There's a link down in the description, or you can just go to tubespanner.com just so you can see all the cool stuff that there is to offer there. Okay, so we're at 40, so I'm going to let this puppy roll. Design burst. All right, this seems like this might be an interesting channel. Let's see what we get here. All right, design burst. Here we go. So, let's see. Design burst, where ideas come to life. New videos every week. Subscribe now. Design burst. Design burst. We believe that good design can change lives. Our mission. Okay. So one just minor, quick tweak for the sake of adding clarity to what it is that you do. When it comes to your channel name, I thought you were doing like, some type of like, graphic design or something like that. When I land on the channel page, once I look down at your videos, I understand that you're doing home design stuff. So like, maybe home interiors or something like that. So because of that, I would just add that clarity somewhere here in this initial blurb before people need to click into it. Because people absolutely do click into your About Me section, and they absolutely do read more into what it is that you're doing. And then also adding that up here just adds a little bit of clarity. We used to, back in the day, we actually used to have the ability to connect our YouTube channels to Google Analytics. And when we were doing that, you would actually see like, okay, people are, we have this many people hitting our playlist page. We have this many people hitting our About Me page. It was really cool. But that taught me that lots of people look at your About Me page. So it might seem like just kind of like people think nobody looks in the descriptions, but people make like tons of money through the links they have in the descriptions. The same exact thing goes with the About Me page as well. So just make sure that you do have it all filled out and it's clear. But the important part is right here, right? This first part before it truncates, so that people know that it is about home interiors. Okay, so first off, find interior design style, 7 tips for mastering it. So we got let's see here. So you're 3,000 subscribers. And I saw some videos with like lots of views on them. Okay, there we go. 31,000, 90,000. Okay, fantastic. Okay. So the very first thing I want to bring to your attention is when you find something that works on your channel, see if you can repeat it. So one way that you do that is, and you might be making these videos in advance, and if that's the case, then you just kind of have to do what you have to do. But when you have something like this take off, think to yourself, okay, for the person that watched this video, what would be the next thing that person would absolutely love? And the reason that you want to do that is because the people that really enjoyed this video, when you publish the next one, which is probably why you got a lot of views on this one too, when you publish that next one, YouTube is showing this video to a lot of these people. So for the people that really enjoyed that video the most. So because of that, trying to follow it up with something that is a perfect fit for the people that watch this video. So the way that you would do that is either one, you created a gap of some kind in this particular video where you mention like, one of the things that you can do is when you're doing this in your living room is to keep this in mind. We actually have an entire video coming out about that, so make sure you keep an eye out for that. But anyway, blah, 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 right? But in that particular case with that video, if you didn't know that it was going to do well, then, having that type of thing, doesn't really make a lot of sense to have in the video unless you plan on making that video. That's more of an after the fact type of thing. But like when you do have something like that pop though, since I'm sure you don't have something like that in the video, just thinking like the people that watch this video, like what's the likelihood of them caring about a cheap or expensive wall design versus maybe another video on like mixing Japanese and Scandinavian design, right? So like here, if you did interior design style, 7 tips for mastering it, then, another one like, 5 more tips, or, breaking it down into each individual room in the house, as an example, like, 5 tips for mastering Japan and Scandinavian style in your bedroom, 5 tips for doing it in your living room, and just turn it into like a whole series, because people are clearly interested in that style, right? So you definitely want to try to, repeat success. Let's see here. TV wall design, cheap, expensive. Yeah, love this. Love what you're doing with the before and after thumbnail. Floating shelves, small room space saving solution. So that one's like underperformed compared to all of the ones around it. I wonder why. Yeah, this is good. I love before and after thumbnails. Those are so effective on YouTube. Let's see here. Small room space, floating shelves, small room space, saving solution. So since this is 3 months old, one thing, I mean, the last video you published is a month ago, but like, since this is 3 months old, like one thing you might want to do is come in here and kind of redo this all packaging from the outside. Because what you're doing is you're sharing similar types of stuff, but for whatever reason, people just didn't come into that one. And based on the performance of this and this and this and this one right here and this one right here, like, how to put videos together. So I would definitely go in and just kind of look at this and look at the impressions that you got on it, and see out of the impressions that you're getting, how people are responding, to this on home pages and suggested videos, and see if you can kind of repackage this one in a way that maybe it has, a little bit more focus on the shelves, or maybe you just take a cooler picture of just one of the shelves, because this one is kind of like a split, it looks like, but have it to where it's just like a straight on shot of the shelves, and then same exact thing, but open shelves on it with the arrows on it or whatever, and reduce it down to just one arrow. I would just experiment with this a little bit more. It could be the video content. Maybe when people went into it, they just didn't respond as well as these other ones. But because the response was so good on these, I'm actually surprised that this one didn't have a similar, or not necessarily a similar response, but just a better response, because you would have had a substantial amount of people here responding to this video and then this video. So you being in their recent viewer history and them being engaged in your content should have shown this video to a lot of people. So because of that, I would definitely go in and play with this packaging. But another thing also is I would definitely, because people are responding to what it is that you're doing. Like you went hard 3 months ago, and then you just kind of stopped until a month ago, and then you stopped again. So one thing that I would try to do, if you can, is be like, okay, I had the opportunity here for whatever reason to where you were able to publish a lot. So next time I have that opportunity, instead of publishing all these videos back to back, let me publish one video, and then maybe, just do like one video a week, or one video every, like 10 days or something like that. So I can create a cadence of sorts for publish my content, so that I can do it on a regular basis. Even if I'm creating content quickly, it will ensure that I'll be able to consistently, do the thing. So I would definitely work on that side of things. But yeah, like for your thumbnails, I think for what it is that you're doing, I think this is pretty clear. I'm surprised this didn't do better. Maybe the part 2, because the part 2 suggests that you need to watch part 1 in order to understand what happened there. And even though it is published, directly after, I would actually take the part 1 and the part 2 off of the packaging. If you said it in the video, it's fine, but I would take it off of the packaging. On part 1, it's not as important, but on that part 2, I would definitely take it off of the packaging there. And another thing is, because they didn't respond that well to these, I would experiment with these also, kind of like what I was saying to do with this one, to where I would go in and I would take out like interior design style, and then I would just focus on this imagery, because this imagery is actually just really bold, right here with this, where you have the white room over here with this type of sofa, the dark room over here with this type of sofa. Just like a super bold image. And the reason I'm saying to do it without text on it, or just to experiment with it and see if people respond better, is because people that are interested in interior design, and you know this because you're into it clearly. So people that are interested in that sort of thing, like that type of imagery, like, oh, that's a cool, like that looks like a cool scene. That looks like a cool scene, in somebody's house, and that'll just stand out to them on its own. So I would definitely experiment with that on both of these and removing the part 1 and part 2. Put them in a playlist and make that playlist a series, and then make sure that you are linking into that playlist so that people can easily access. Oh, you might be doing it here. Hold on. You are putting these into a playlist. More easily access them back and forth. Yeah, here too, don't worry about putting the interior design in your actual title itself. You can put those in your description if you want to, add that type of thing, but you don't need it there. Another thing I would experiment with here as well, if you are not doing this already, is like some of the imagery that you have is really cool. Like, and the reason I'm saying this is like, I'm the type of person that will like sit on the sofa and just like look at home interiors on Pinterest for like, 2 hours. Like, I love looking at, just the cool stuff that people come up with for their homes and like their backyard setups and, like all that stuff. I just love it. Always been that way. Like, even like, when I lived in the States and I would go to like Barnes and Noble back in the day, like I would go and I would just look through some of like the home, design, magazines and stuff like that. I just love it. But like the imagery that you are using, I think is powerful enough to grab the attention of the people that you are trying to reach. And then from there, let the titles do the work. So instead of having color temperature of lighting, you have lights temperature there, but do color temperature of lighting explained, or if that's what the short's about, and then just completely remove the interior design hashtag. But I would do that for a lot of these, because that imagery is great. Like if you're trying to grab somebody's attention and actually pull them into the feed, how YouTube is putting everybody's shorts all over the place, I would definitely do that. Good. Actively using this while you can't publish. Smart. Love it. Yeah. Okay. So hopefully that helps. Same thing with you. If you have any questions about any of that, definitely shoot me a DM on Twitter, and I'll try to add any clarity that I need. So on that note, I want to thank everybody here for hanging out. Hope that you enjoyed some of this information today. We are doing these on a more regular basis now, so make sure that you are subscribed here to the Tube Spanner YouTube channel. Make sure that your notifications are turned on, so that when we do this next time, you can come in and hopefully get your channel pulled up if it didn't get pulled up today. And remember to check out Tube Spanner at tubespanner.com. There's a direct link down in the description if you're on a mobile device or something, if that's easier for you. And besides that, hit the like button on the way out, just so that when people see this in my community tab, they know that it was a good piece of content that they should come in and watch. And have a great rest of your week. And I'll see you next time.